Okay, ladies, here we go. This video took the life out of me to record. I went through so much trouble. A lot of it didn't get recorded. I had to re-record, and then there were sound issues the second half, so bear with me. But we're gonna get right through this thing. I'm gonna help you plant your seedlings and get you ready for this spring. Alrighty, so let's move forward positively and let's get right into this video. Enjoy, like, comment, and subscribe if this adds value to you. Hey, so it is time to garden. Roll your sleeves up and let's get started, ladies. All right, hopefully you got everything that I showed in my last video, or just some other substitutes. You don't have to have exactly what I had, but it was just a quick guide in case you wanted a fast way to get some things now. Okay, so here we go. First things first, you want to have some boiled water handy. Here is mine. I'm going to press the button on it, and that's going to have it start to boil. Okay, so first things first, on today you are going to need something to put your soil in that you can mix all your soil in. So I'm gonna dump the soil into this bowl. We're gonna put quite a bit of it in. Okay, I hope that you are not scared of getting your hands dirty at all, because we're gonna put our hands inside of this baby, and you're just gonna go in and just, if you have any big sticks or anything like that, like right here I've got a little tiny stick, any clumpies or anything like that. Now I know on the video I told you to make sure you get seed starting mix, and that's just because it's made really fluffy and it has a lot of these sticks taken out, and it's refined in a way that you can like not have to go in and pull some of these out. I am actually mixing a seed starting mix with an all-purpose type potting mix, because the potting mixes do retain water a little bit better, but don't worry about that because we're going to hydrate this anyway with some water. Okay, so just getting the little sticks out, and that's the purpose for not wanting these in your soil when you're doing starting seeds is because these sticks and things make it hard for your seedlings to kind of raise up out of the dirt. So the seed starting mixes are made very soft and very fluffy, so that it's kind of, you know, newcomer proof. I don't want to say dummy proof because you're no dummies, but you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry if you hear this water boiling next to me, but that's what you hear. So this feels pretty good. You're also going to need a kitchen spoon, something that is all metal where you won't get dirt stuck into the crevices, and something that you could just like move around with here. I like to get my hands in the dirt though, so if you feel funny, put on some gloves and put your spoon in the bowl, and honestly you're gonna be okay. If you are gonna garden, then you can stick your hands in this here, because there's a lot more out in the back that you gotta worry about than this little bit of packaged dirt. So we want to just make sure there's no eggs in here of bugs and things like that are going to hatch later. And if we use cold water to hydrate this, they can still hatch and start eating up the roots of your seedlings. So we want to make sure that that's not the case. Now, doesn't always happen that way. I'm not saying that that's definitely going to happen if you don't use boiling water, but this will heighten your chances. Now, if you don't want to have to do all of this, then just start with the seed starting mix. It's just a lot better for what you're trying to do. It just takes all the problematic, parts out. Okay, I think this is good. We're gonna leave it at that. So there we are, just some dirt, right? It's almost here. Okay. So hopefully you got all of your supplies ready. My seeds are here. Right now I am 10 weeks before my last frost date. So I'm going to be planting today with you guys some tomatoes, some peppers, and some eggplant. Those things are what's safe to plant 10 weeks before. At the 8-week mark, you have other things that you can plant. All right, finally we're boiled. Okay, we're gonna start to pour our water. And you just wanna hydrate this. This is hot, be careful. Make sure you are not playing around with this water. Okay, and we're gonna mix. Now you have to use the spoon because this is hot. We're gonna mix this up. We need more than that, clearly. Try to get it all in. Hydrate this all up. Okay. Just be better to pour a little at a time so you don't overhydrate it. Ooh. Great. I'm just making a big mess. But that's okay, right? Okay. So let's keep mixing. Make sure this water is getting through. And we want it to be like a brownie mix. I think we're gonna use this whole kettle. All right. All right. It's in there. Just make sure all of this dirt is hydrated. You could still see some light dirt there. So just mix it in good. You can see that steam happening. Just make sure you don't have any pockets of dry dirt. And then you want to make a little mountain of it. And now we're going to cover this with foil. So that the mountain is so that you can keep the heat in. So it has a higher distance to keep the heat in. And if I like open this up, you can see that heat come out of there. Can you see it? So it'll build up heat inside of that little mound and just and sterilize this soil. So I'm gonna get the foil and put it right over top of this. Okay, so I'm going to cover this with the foil. I'm gonna just let that sit for some time, maybe about an hour. So that's your prep before you start your seed. This bowl is hot underneath here. So we're gonna let that sit for a little while. Okay, so that's set aside. Now we're gonna talk about the other things we have going here. While our second pitcher of water boils, I'm gonna take this down, set this down here. And we'll get to that really soon. And don't mind the mess I have made on this table. That's what the table's here for. Okay, so while we wait for our second pitcher of water to boil, you are going to now need a glass bowl or a bowl that can take the temperature of this water. So we're gonna put our pellets, the big peat pellets, into here to hydrate them. And we're gonna hydrate these, and the same, just for sterilization purposes, we're gonna use the boiling water. I'll hydrate some of the small ones as well, although I'm gonna have to repot these soon due to them being so small. I would usually use these closer to the time to garden. So I'll do 5 of them. And we're gonna stick with that. And so while we wait on the water, I'm gonna go through what else you need. You're gonna need a stick of some, this is just like a broken skewer that I have here that we're gonna use with the peat pellets. The seeds that I'm going to be planting today are sweet peppers. I'm going to do a red cherry tomato, sweet red pepper, the Hampton tomatoes, these tomatoes, well, both different varieties. Those two varieties of tomatoes are so good. I have also here a beefsteak tomato, California Wonder peppers, and some eggplant. In my last video, and in this video, I'll put another link down there, but in my last video, I didn't mention it that you would need this, but because I forgot. But you will need some type of labels to label your seedlings with, because the worst thing in the world, and I know you think you have a good memory, but every year this happens. You think you're gonna remember, you write it down, it's always something. Like if you go get a paper and put it down, and you always forget what you planted where and what is what. Always, never fails. So our second pitcher of water is almost done and boiled. So we're gonna hydrate those. And after that, we're gonna write out our labels and line them up in our tray. So let's pull this into frame. And when it's ready, we will pour. Okay. So we're gonna hydrate these now. And you just wanna take it and hydrate all of these. Pour gently. And they're just gonna drink up this water and swell up. And I'm gonna show you what we're working with in just a few minutes. Okay, so we're gonna let them sit because they've got to cool off anyway. You don't want them to kill your seedlings, so do not rush. But okay, those are hydrated. And I'm gonna take this tray here, and this is what comes on the bottom of your 72 cell seedling trays, or you can use something like this. I've reused those because there's no sense in not reusing them. So we're gonna start lining these up. Make sure these are soft all the way through. If you don't like the fact that the peat moss is coming out of the vessel here, then you can just pour the water underneath. Don't pour it on top, but girl. So we're gonna spread them out actually so they can just cool better. Okay. As I was telling you earlier, well, in the other video, these swell a lot bigger. Can you see the difference? So you can leave your seedling in this one a lot longer than you can leave it in here. So I will have to transplant these sooner, a lot sooner than those. So I would advise you get the big ones. We are ready. We're gonna let these cool off. Okay. So now we're gonna get what we don't need and set it aside. Okay. So those are done, and I'm going to now start writing out my labels. So first we're gonna do, we have Hampton tomatoes. We're going to take out all our tomatoes and we're going to write their names down. So I have 3 types of tomato here: Hampton, red cherry, and beefsteak. So now I'm going to take this and write on it exactly what I have there. So this is beefsteak tomato. And I'm going to write today's date. And that's how I'm going to do it for that one, okay? So for each one, okay? And I'm gonna set those there. I'm gonna do 2 hemp. Now last year when I planted my garden, I started it all in pots and cups and all of these things. I went away for the weekend and my entire garden died. It just died. I had them covered in order to keep them from the cold at night, and I wasn't here to uncover them, and I didn't know what I should do, so I kind of left them half covered. And girl, that thing they just died. That is what they did. So, I was heartbroken. And these should be pretty cool soon. We don't have to wait till they're completely cooled because, like I said in my other video, because seedlings like it to be warm. They like warm soil in order to germinate. Okay, so I'm back. I recorded this whole video and didn't realize I didn't press record. So luckily I still have some of them empty, some empty pods that I can show you what to do in. Okay, I'm very frustrated right now, but I planted all of this and the camera was not on record. So here we are with what we've done, and I'm gonna show you one of each example right here, right now. Okay, so for the big peat pellets, what you wanna do is rip the little vessel open, tear it open, and you're gonna make a hole or just interrupt the soil here. And we're gonna take our label, beefsteak tomato, and I'm gonna put it down in here. I'm gonna take the beefsteak seeds and I am going to drop 3 seeds down in that hole. Here's your seed, and I'm gonna drop them into the hole here. 1, 2, 3, just drop them in, and then, can you see them? I'm gonna push them down a little bit, and then I'm just gonna take the soil and cover the hole, the soil that I loosened, and I'm gonna cover the hole where I just put those. And pretty much with everything, that's what you're gonna do. Same thing goes with the small pod. You tear it open, you loosen the soil, make your hole, drop your seed, cover it up, and you're done. So for the cups, the way you do them, here's how you fill it. Load your dirt in, press it softly, get some more dirt in, loosely filled. And the cups with the holes, I'm gonna take my hold cup, do the same thing. I'm gonna press down lightly, get some more dirt in, not too hard, don't press too hard, because you want the soil to be loose enough for your roots to move around, but you're just gonna put it in lightly, okay? I'm gonna put a cherry tomato here. So let's just get those seeds out. And I'm gonna make 3 holes in this soil, 3, in a triangle. And I'm gonna drop 2 holes, 2 seeds in each hole. 2, 1, 2. So the seeds are in these holes, and I'm just gonna cover them up with the outside soil. Okay. So you must have missed me drilling the holes in the cups and everything. Lovely. This is a hole. This is the cup with no hole. I'm gonna drop the 2 marbles down in the cup, and this will go in here, so the cup has a way to ventilate, well, to drain. And for video purposes, I am going to, just in case I didn't catch it on tape, drill 3 holes. I'm gonna drill 3 holes in the bottom of this. So just in a triangle, I'm gonna drill 3 holes. Way we have our cups with our holes. and that will be what you put your soil in. Same thing with the big boy here. Just gonna fill it up. Compress. Finish the rest of the way. And he's done. Okay. Now for your 36 or 72 tray, the way you would do this, I already did mine. I'm not planning on doing any more, but I will show you, since for the sake of the video, since that didn't record. You're just gonna pile this into here like so. So you're gonna just fill this up with dirt. And you can like just slide over top this way. Gardening is a sloppy job. So you're just gonna do this here like this till the whole thing is full, pretty much. And so when you have this 72 cell tray, what you're gonna do is put your labels at the head of each row, and you're gonna plant straight through. If you don't want it, you can put the number right here. So right here it says Hampton tomato. I'll put the number 6 here and the date. And so all 6 of these are Hampton. If you didn't want to do it that way, I could have put a 3 and put 3 of these as Hampton. And then I could have taken red cherry, put it here, and then did these 3 red cherry. Okay. Just to show you the difference. And so I'm gonna get some peppers out. These are California Wonder peppers, green pepper. And I'm gonna find the row that says California Wonder. And basically, you would open up a hole, drop 2 peppers in, seeds in, and then you would close over that hole the same way like what we just did. Same way, same deal. Okay, this is the California Wonder. Let's grab that. Okay, and we are going to plant. I'm gonna dig 3 holes. I'm gonna drop 2 in each hole again. Sorry. There they are. And I'm just gonna take the outside dirt and cover that. Done. Okay. Same thing with this. This is a Hampton tomato. And we're gonna open 3 holes, grab our Hampton tomato seeds. And get them in there. 2 in each hole. 1, 2, 1, 2. And we can thin these off later. 1, 2. All right, and you don't want an air pocket to be, you don't want the seeds to be in an air pocket, so you're just gonna cover them up well. Alrighty, that's that. There's our Hampton tomato. Okay. Okay, so here I am showing you how to plant some flowers for pollination purposes. We are going to plant 18 of 2 different kinds. So here I'm writing out the cards for some zinnias. And I'm going to put arrows to direct exactly where each row is going to go, so I can know where my zinnias are. And the other half is going to be marigolds. So here you can see me writing it out. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I'm going to do with it. So here I'm showing you that I drew an arrow down to cover those 6 rows and 3 across, and I'm going to put the card right in the corner here. And my next one I'm going to fill out for the marigolds to go on the next half of this same 36 cell frame. And so you're just writing the plant name and the date, and then the directional arrows to show you where you're planting each of these types of plants. So this is going to go and cover the 3 across and the 6 down, and we're going to put that right next to the zinnias. Now I'm counting out how many seeds I'm going to need, and we're going to get planting. So here we are. These are the first set of seeds that I'm going to plant, and these are the marigolds, Mexican marigolds. I'll put that link down in the description if you are interested. And I'm going to start by making holes in each cell. Just a small hole. Make sure you read your seed packet, guys, to make sure that you know how deep each seed that you're planting needs to be planted. So now I'm putting each of the seeds down in the hole, and you'll see me pressing my finger down in there so that when I close up the hole and water it, it won't have, the seed won't be floating in an air pocket. So here it is fast forwarding because I feel like I pretty much showed you exactly how to just get them in, and then you're taking your tool or whatever it is that you're going to use and just cover up the seed with the dirt. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the zinnias. Zinnias are one of my favorite flowers. Here's a close-up of the seeds, and basically I'm going to drop a seed in each cell. So we're planting 18 of these zinnias, and I'm going to speed it up so that you don't have to be pulling your hair out watching me drop these seeds. And now I'm just going to stamp my finger to the depth of each of what the directional packet tells you to plant these at, to sow these. So now this is another method where you can just take a handful of soil and just cover the seeds with the soil instead of using the tool. So you're taking a handful and just spreading some more soil over it, and so you can do it either way. I did the left side one way, and this is the second way for the right side. And there, those are all planted and done. So now we're going to talk about watering, how we're going to water these plants. Okay, so when you plant seedlings, you don't want to just take some big pitcher and start pouring water on the top, because it'll make the placement of the seeds mess up. And you don't want them to go deeper than you planted them. So I'm gonna take a spray bottle. Any kind of spray bottle is fine. This is a 360 type spray bottle. And we're just gonna moisten the top of the soil. Okay. And that's how you will water the seedlings. I'm putting it here for draining purposes. Let's just get these big boys in here. Let's get a few of the small in, and we're gonna do the same with them. We're just gonna wet the tops of these soil. And we're gonna do this as the soil. Check it every day. And your soil will be lighter if it's needing water. And lastly, here I am watering in our zinnias and our marigolds. Ladies, do not overlook or overestimate this planting your flowers, because you need to attract bees to your garden. And here is the grow light setup that I am doing for purposes of this video. This won't be the setup that I use this year, but this is a quick way to get your garden started. I used this way last year and it worked perfectly fine. My garden was plenteous and wonderful. So just set your starts on a table. You see I have these are hooked to just some chairs and handles of drawers. You just set your seed starts on the table, you put that seedling mat underneath, plug everything up to your surge protector that has the timer on it, and you're ready to go. You're already ready for spring. Till next time, ladies, I hope this made some sense to you. Again, apologies for the horrible sound quality that happened in this video, but hopefully this was still understandable. Feel free to post any questions that you have in the comments section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. May the Most High bless you, keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, and give you produce. Peace.